Welcome to Trucking Tools of the Trade, and today's topic is GPSs. Is GPS is a word? Alright, so I want to talk about GPSs and the use thereof. Okay, so as you all know, running a GPS is just a tool. It is not something you should rely on 100%. You should still use either a map book or some kind of mapping software from your computer, or even on your phone isn't bad. Now, what type of GPS should you get? I recommend, and this is just my recommendation, you guys can do whatever you want, but I recommend buying a GPS that is specifically designed for trucking. And you have several out there. You've got Cobra, you've got the Rand McNally, you've got the PC Myler one. I believe Garmin has the Garmin Diesel, I think is a trucking one also. So you have 4, possibly 5, I'm not sure, but guaranteed 4 that are all set up for trucking. And they're not 100% accurate. No GPS is. Now you got to remember, it's a computer software program, so it's going to pick out what it believes to be the best route to get to your destination. It may not necessarily be the best route. Okay? There's a lot of things that you're taking the human factor out of it, so you still got to use it. What it's good for is you punch in the address, you can see where your destination is, and then you have to make an educated guess as to what may be the best way in. Now, if the GPS way may be the best way to go in, there is no substitute for actually calling the customer and asking them. Getting directions from the shipper. Don't get directions from the receptionist. Remember, she drives in there in her little Hyundai every day. She doesn't pay attention to low bridges, no truck routes, or sharp turns, okay? So ask for the shipping or receiving department. 9 times out of 10, they have something already written down as far as directions go. Some of the bigger plants already have it recorded. But anyway, so why did I pick the Rand McNally GPS out of all the other ones, okay? One of the reasons being is all the different truck tools that you have available to you. I'm not going to go through all of them, guys. You can go to my search engine in my YouTube channel and type in Rand McNally. You'll see all the other stuff. You've got the map. Choose destination. This is the most important part right here, is the points of interest. My truck, my route, city, end of day, destination, whatever. If you go my route, I mean, you can pick from travel centers, way stations, cat scales, dealers. There's other categories: parking, rest areas, truck services. You've even got the quick stops. Now, this is mostly good for you guys in the U.S., being Walmart, and you got all the different truck stops, which we don't have up here, like Love's, Wilco. We do have one TA in Ontario. Flying J is the biggest one up here. There is one pilot in Ontario, which is actually not even a pilot anymore. It's actually become a Flying J. So this is one of the reasons I love this thing. The parking areas, rest areas, looking for rest areas while you're driving, this is great for that. If you're broken down, you're looking for trucking services, it's great. You need to get weighed, you can find the nearest cat scale to where you are. The weigh stations, well, that's for the DOT scales and whatnot. A little bit of a cheat there. What are the other categories? Well, you've got a whole bunch of different things that you can look for: gas stations, parking, bank, coffee shop, diesel fuel, restaurant, shopping. These are all the different car ones that you can put in there. Ferries, bus stations, airports, hotels, golf courses, rental cars, you name it. Military base, tourist information centers, religious, sports. There's just, if you press sports, then you've got all kinds of other ones there too. Even bowling alleys, restaurants, you can go by different nations, which is really cool. Diesel fuel, the different types of gas stations are in there. So it is a really handy GPS to have. Truck services, it will now just search to what's close to us as far as repair areas on the route. So it is really good for that. You can also search for truck stops to your destination. You don't necessarily, if you don't have a route yet, you can punch in the city and it'll find stuff there. And it's also good for the address book, where you can put in all your customers and you know, you'll have the addresses to them. Eventually you'll have all your customers, especially if you go to a lot of the same places. It's just a really good tool. On the truck tools part, you have timers, mileage, and whatnot. This is good for you know, keeping track of fuel, mileages for the month, timers as far as your 14-hour clocks go and whatnot. Truck info, you can put in all the proper stuff as far as your truck weights, heights, whatnot. Warnings where you have different things like curves and different things that are coming up. You can put those parameters in there. Road atlas information. This is one where you can find out different things for each state, like Alabama. Emergency numbers, obviously. Overweight, oversized phone numbers, state police, hazardous spill reporting phone numbers, Chemtrack, fuel tax phone, legal size limits for semi-trailer length, things like that. There's just all kinds of information on here that you will not get on a regular GPS, okay, guys? You know, a logbook aid is on there. There's so much to list, I can't even list it all. So getting a good trucking GPS over a car GPS is a worthwhile investment. Do not use it as your main source of trip planning, please. Yeah, you're going to spend a little bit more money, but get it. It's worth it. And there's all kinds out there. So what I found when I went and got mine is I went into the Flying J truck stops, or the Pilots. You know, they have them usually displayed anyways. A lot of them have power to them. And you can go there and play with them and see what interface you like best. You know, you may not like this menu style, and it may not mash with, you know, you. So try the Cobra one. You'll look at its menu setup and the features that it has. Maybe you'll like that better, or maybe the PC Miler one. They're all a little bit different, but Rand McNally is the most popular one out there. I believe it is probably the highest rated one with the best reviews. But then again, that all comes down to personal preference, right? So that's the one I chose. It's the one I like. I do recommend that you do get one. It is a good aid in helping you find your customers and finding a way out of areas that, you know, you may have some issues with. It does show low bridges. There are glitches like there is with everything else. Some stuff, the information is 100% accurate, but the warnings do pop up well enough in advance to tell you that, you know, there's trouble ahead. You got to start paying attention, etc. I've had it pop up where they've had issues in certain areas where it says that there's a low bridge. And at one time there may have been. It just means the information's outdated for whatever reason, and so you just got to be careful. But again, there is no substitute for a real map book, calling the customer, getting real directions. Use this as an aid. Use your phone. It's just an added tool for you to better equip you to do your job out here. So that's one of the main tools out here. It is an expense. I believe they're anywhere between, depending on what size you get, the 7-inch is more expensive, obviously. So you're going to spend anywhere from $250 if they're on sale to $400 roughly. Okay, so what you can afford is up to you. A lot of guys go the 5-inch just because the 7-inch does take up a lot of room. I like the 7-inch just because I'm an old guy and, you know, I need bigger things to, you know, look at. So anywho, that's it. That's all for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll talk to you on the next one.